Peace to everyone who is dog free. Peace and greetings and salutations to dog haters, anyone who's anti dog. Peace to people that are, new, that have finally, come to realize that dog culture it's horrendous. Peace to the victims that are still with us. Peace to the victims that have passed on because of dogs, whether due to disease or attacks. Peace to the little ones that have been attacked, and peace to them that have left this realm. And peace to those that are, thinking about it. You're on that fence and you're about to make a decision. Peace and salutations and greetings. Greetings to you. I hope everyone has had a dog-free day. I sort of did. I did until I got home. Saw one of my neighbors with their worthless mutt. They were just pulling on the leash, jumping on this child, and it looked really bad. Because this dog looked like it, wasn't trained. Because it was like pulling on the leash, jumping around. You know how dogs do, and they act all, like they act like, like a dumb dog jumping around. Their tail wagging and all that. It was a sight to see. I wish I could undo it, but hey. And I am, again, I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I am grateful, and I kind of question, like, I've always hated dogs. I've always hated dogs. And I'm grateful that I've never, ever, during my hatred, I've never been bitten by a dog. Never been, I would say, I've been chased by dogs, but I've never been bitten. No dog has ever, jumped on me. Some have, but, when I see a dog in the area, I know a dog is there. I'm on full alert. I'm, watching my space. I'm keeping my distance away from this worthless mutt. I remember one time in a store back in the city, I walked in, and one of the first things after I'm walking in a few steps inside the store, I see this pit bull by the counter. As soon as I see it, I am gone. And the clerk is like, wait. I was only a little ute back then. And the moment I see this dog in the store, this is like a clothing store, a little boutique clothing store. The moment I saw that dog, I was out of here. I was not going to take any chances. And the clerk was like, wait. I'm like, no, I was already maybe 3 blocks away from that place. I have so many close calls, but I've never actually been attacked, bitten, per se, like nothing. Never lived with a dog. Well, sort of, but it was very briefly. But I'm not gonna get too into it. But it wasn't like I was in the same house with the dog. It wasn't like that. But I'm grateful. And I always, have to give my condolences to the little ones, from 1-year-old to, maybe to the teenage years, those that have been victims, innocent victims of these dogs. And usually, again, it's the family dog. man, it's in a way, it's like it's hard for me to say I'm grateful, because at the same time it's like it's unfair that we have children, babies, being forced, they have no choice but to live with these things, you know. And what does a baby do? Sleep, cry, filth its diapers, cry some more, eat. It doesn't know anything. A baby does not know anything. And along comes this worthless mutt, and it attacks the child. Man. And that hasn't, like, nothing has happened, like, in terms of change to this dog culture. If at least they made some, like, obvious strict changes, I would say, okay, at least they're doing something. But when children are attacked daily, babies that are days old, weeks old, probably have never opened their eyes yet, are attacked and killed by a dog, it's like, why is nothing being done? How much more blood, young blood, has to be spilt? Nothing. And again, they sort of ban pit bulls, but again, I say banning doesn't do anything, from my experience. Because just saying there's a ban doesn't do anything. Because where I am, they've banned pit bulls since maybe for 15 years now, but I still see them. Banning doesn't do anything. Saying pit bulls are banned doesn't do anything. Eliminating them, killing them, is the way to go. Just like if a wild animal attacks someone, that wild animal is put down immediately. That wild animal doesn't get to go to another shelter to get the sleep jab. No. Rangers, police, animal control with shotguns or whatever kind of firearms they use, they shoot and kill these things immediately. A painful death. But dogs, they have it so easy where they can maul babies and they may have a chance to live, and if not, they get the sleep jab, and next thing you know, someone else gets the same pit bull again. It happens again. It's not fair. And I was thinking, and I'm always thinking, this is basically what these dog nutters and pit bull nutters. Sometimes I have to separate the dog nut from the pit bull nut, but at the end of the day, they're all the same. But mainly, I guess you could say the pit bull nut. The house is on fire, and they act like everything's okay. Same thing as if you get a dog or a pit bull. They act like everything's okay. It's like the same thing. But I think a pit bull is worse. A dog is worse, because you don't know when that thing is going to snap. In reality, when you see fire or smoke, you get the hell out of there. And we're taught this in school. When you go to work, on the television, cartoons, they teach you about fire safety. But what about the dog safety? They may teach it, but in a way they want you to play with the fire, aka the dog. They still want you to play with the fire. That's what they do. They'll teach, how to approach a dog, how to behave around a dog, how to touch a dog, what not and what to do with around our dog. They'll do that. They want children to play with fire. And as they're playing with fire, just like this, coincidentally, this is another dog, they act like everything is fine. Act like everything is fine. And it's not just with attacks. I think attacks are, the obvious one. But diseases, we've been 2-3 years of diseases, of all this disease germ stuff. And dogs carry problems, are walking bacteria traps. There's also the immature, reckless dog owner. And the dog itself for being needy, annoying, loud. Brushing all its dander and, polluting the environment. It's literally like we're playing, not we. This dog culture, dog nutters, dog owners, dog lovers are playing with fire, and they invite the children, the baby, to play with that same fire. But even to compare fire to dogs, it's out of line. Because even fire has its uses. Fire is dangerous, but it has its uses. Dogs. Do dogs have a use? Do dogs have a legitimate use? If all dogs should vanish off the face of this earth, would it affect us anyway? Would it affect our eating? Would it affect our health? Our vision? Would it affect our hunger, our thirst? Would it? But let us say it's about real fire. You take away that fire, you can't cook your food. You're gonna freeze to death. Fire can be used as light. Fire is very spiritual for various beliefs. But the dog, you don't need the dog. And people who say they need dogs, emotional support dogs, those are the fools. The incompetent fools that are unable to problem solve and take care of themselves. They need a dog. And that, again, despite them having a dog, doesn't solve or do anything. I don't care if you're blind, deaf, if you have autism, whatever the case may be, dogs do nothing. It's useless. It's like you're playing with fire. And as I'm thinking about this, it reminded me of the famous Martin Luther King Jr. quote, where he says, "I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house." In my perspective and using this towards this dog culture, a lot of dog owners, parents, have led their children into a burning house, aka the house with a dog. And it's sad. It's sad that your parents leading and bringing their children into a burning house, especially with pit bull or pit bulls, any kind of dog. That child is standing like on a burning surface, man. can't run, can't yell, can't do this, can't do that. Even if the child doesn't do that, the dog can still and has attacked for no reason. Again, I found this. Dog bite cases. Is it legal for, I'm not sure what this means, RWAs to put restrictions on pet owners? So they kind of touch base on how there's been a lot of dog bites against civilians, citizens, children, and they're trying to figure out, like, what do we do? But they're not. It's just rambling. They're not stating the obvious. They're not. It's just a waste. Whoever wrote this is probably bored at their job, has no idea what to write, so they wrote this nonsense. What needs to be done is so obvious. You eliminate the dog. Like I said, it's like they're living in a burning house, and they think it's all fine. And again, dog nuts do this, or news reporters, they do this. They bring up these questions like this. They bring up, past incidents like this. But they don't state, like, what they should and could and need to be doing. They don't do that. Even right here, pit bull attack leaves 11-year-old with 150 stitches. They don't state what needs to be done. If this pit bull did not exist, this child person would not be getting 150 stitches. If this pit bull didn't exist, this child would not be attacked by a pit bull. But they continue to push this pit bull nuttery, this dog nuttery. And that's the problem. It's the dog. It's these dog owners. And if you eliminate, obviously, this is like kindergarten. If you eliminate the problem, then there's no more problems. It's like having, okay, let's go back to the fire in the house. Your house is burning with fire. Maybe your room is burning with fire. What do you think you can do? There's a couple of things you can do. You can leave the room, leave the house or building, but the fire will still remain. And those around the fire are going to get hurt or are going to get affected by the fire. Isn't it best to just put out the fire? Depending on the size. But if you have a fire extinguisher, water, etc., and you can put out the fire, why not just do it? Why dance around the fire? Why be like this? Why not just eliminate and get rid of the fire? Eventually you have to. Even if you do escape, the firefighters or whoever are going to put out the fire. Once the fire is out, the fire stops. No one gets hurt in that fire. Nothing. But dog culture, we continue to have them here. Have them in the homes in our society, and people keep dying and getting attacked. On the dogsbite.org, I call this the Anti-Dog Bible. There's a lot of good stuff here. Recent attack, September 19th, 2022, 89-year-old. Family pit bull, attacked by family pit bulls. On September 14, a pair of pit bulls attacked a 12-year-old boy and his grandmother at their home. On the 14th of September, a 32-year-old man killed by alligator pit bull? I've never heard of that. Alligator pit bull. I've never heard of it. Alligator pit bull. I've never heard that term. Never in my life. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Where are we? Again, 32-year-old man. If a 32-year-old grown man can't handle a pit bull, or defend himself against a pit bull is better phrasing, and a 1-year-old can't do it, but we still have them, something's wrong here. And people are going to say, oh, people die by fire too. True. But again, we need fire. I think fire, is essential. We need it to eat, to survive, to feel warm. But we don't need a dog to do anything. We've created this whole society with us. Man has done this. I don't think a dog helped. What did a dog do? Bark or something? Dog suspected in man's death. Again, August 26th. August 23rd. We've heard this one before. I believe her truck so it got broke down, I guess, and she tried to fix it or something. I don't really know from the story, but she was attacked and killed. Says, I agree. Ideally, postal workers should be allowed to carry guns, but I also understand the enormous liability that would open the USPS up to. How about knives or, a good sword or something? An axe, hatchet. As for it says, in my neck of woods again, Putnam is one of the poorest counties in Florida. I'm surprised animal control turned up at all. Near the entire county is rural. A lot of poverty and drugs. There are leash laws, but no one to enforce them. Again, just like these pit bull bans, I keep seeing them around. No one enforces these things. So, and now in recent days, a lot of cities, countries are uplifting these pit bull bans. So again, if banning didn't work in their attacks, now they're going to uplift the ban. There's still going to be attacks. So it doesn't make sense. Also, lots of dog fighting. People are well advised to keep their normal dogs close. They disappear stolen to be used as bait dogs. So even other dog lovers, pit bull lovers, will hate other dogs. Yeah, so you get the point. Yeah, I got lots to do today, anyways. Just wanted to share another a word with you guys on this Wednesday. And again, I hope everyone can remain dog free, whether at work or at school. If you're a young one, a child, and you stumble upon this video, and there happens to be a service dog in your class, I say, man, let your parents know, let your teachers know, let the principal know, let the superintendent know that you are not safe and you don't want to be around a dog to transfer to probably maybe another school, another class. Do what you got to do. You know, you do not have to allow these dog nuts to run you and to, you know, mock you or to tease you or to, you know, with these dogs. You got to stand up. You got to speak up. And that being said, we live in a censorship society. We live in a selective, like we're very selective of what we say. People are you know, able to get away with certain behavior or actions, and we can't say anything because it's going to be offensive. They might find it offensive. Your school might find it offensive. Your job might find it offensive. So instead of speaking up, we just keep it inside and don't say anything. And that's what they want. That's what the so-called powers that be or shouldn't be want. They want people to just not say anything. And the same goes with this dog culture. They don't want people speaking up against it. They've made it where if you speak up against a dog, you're an awful person. You see a dog in a shopping cart, you can't speak up about it because if you do, you might be an awful person. I say, who the hell cares? You can't allow these tyrants to push us in a corner and just like not say anything, especially towards this dog culture, which is just so bad and reckless. It's horrible. It is. And we can't say anything because people are gonna think you're a bad person, and that's probably what the news does too. Like these news that reports these attacks, it's like I think they're afraid to say the wrong thing because then that's gonna cause a backlash. They're gonna be hated. Ooh, this guy said this about dog. Oh no, he's a bad person. And that's what people fear. Oh, because of these dogs. Allowing dogs to basically censor yourselves. Dogs. Worthless mutts. Dogs are like the lowest of the low on this earth. Even like parasites and bacteria, worms, they are more productive. But dogs, people are allowing dogs to pretty much censor them. Man, oh man. I'm gonna end there. Again, please continue to have a dog-free day, week, evening. And again, my respects to the victims that are still here, that are passed on. Those that are on the fence, man, you gotta decide, man. And the best thing you can do is to be anti-dog. There's nothing wrong with anti-dog. There's nothing. You can't find one single thing that is wrong with being anti-dog. And if you are anti-dog, these dog nuts, they cannot, bring up an argument against being anti-dog. So instead of bring up arguments against anti-dog people who are dog-free, you know what they do? They insult you personally. They might write death threats. They might, bring up things that are totally irrelevant. Because when I talk about dogs, I stick with dogs. This dog culture. I don't talk, since this guy's dogs, he's probably this, he's probably, I don't bring things that are irrelevant. I keep things within this dog culture with what I've seen, what I've heard, with the facts. And the facts about these worthless mutts and these dog owners are, it embarrasses these dog nuts. It embarrasses them to a point where they have to make irrelevant and personal insults at you. What else can they say? They have nothing. So if you're on the fence, be not afraid. Be not afraid, and just realize, please realize, that it's okay to hate dogs. Thank you for joining me.